Tommy, how often do you get to drive classic Japanese sports cars in Japan on a racetrack?
Oh, what a great day. We're here at Fuji Motor Speedway.
Wait, that is not Fuji back there.
That's the drift track here at Fuji. And Lexus has invited us out to check out some Japanese domestic market classics, including this, which obviously looks like a Lexus IS, but is not.
Dare I say forbidden fruit, Tommy, because today we're going to get behind the wheel of this car and another car and see if the legend lives up to the reality.
Oh, I can't wait. Now let's talk about what we're looking at here. This is a pretty unusual car if you're from the States. Obviously the Lexus IS sold in big numbers, but this is a Toyota Altezza RS200, and the words RS should get you excited. This is a really special engine, and well, let's take it on the track. We'll show you what it's like, and we'll tell you all about it. Oh, the Toyota Altezza, pretty legendary car here in Japan, and this was sold in the USA as the first generation Lexus IS then.
Is it Altezza or Altezza?
I do believe it's Altezza,
okay,
but I could be wrong at that. I am by no means an expert in these JDM Toyota products, but...
Well, that's how you... It's right there. If you're curious, that's how it's spelled.
And look at that gauge cluster with the red line at near 8,000 RPM. That is so cool.
Now, it's a manual, which is great.
Yeah, 6-speed manual. And the reason I am so excited to be behind the wheel of this Altezza is because this has a very different engine to the engines we got in the States. So we got a version of the 2JZ GE naturally aspirated 6-cylinder. This is actually a 4-cylinder, smaller displacement in the RS200, but incredibly rev happy with Beam's technology, which is breakthrough engine advanced mechanism systems, I believe.
Wow, that's impressive, Tommy, that you know that marketing speak.
Yeah, thank you, Dad. But lots of use of titanium in these engines, variable valve timing, which is pretty cool, and that enabled a red line of about 7,600 RPM, and let's see what that feels like.
Oh, I like this a lot better. Whoa, this has some beans.
This thing's got some kick to it.
Yeah, it's fun.
And what you notice is it makes its power really high in the rev range. So look, at full throttle, that's 5, 6, 7. Oh man, that is awesome. What an experience. So it actually revs really high, and this is such a beautiful platform. Even this one that has about 100,000 miles, 150,000 kilometers on it, feels pretty tight, huh?
You know what? This is where the hype and the reality come together, right? It really lives up to its reputation. I mean, it feels light, it feels nimble, it feels like this is very tossable. The engine is responsive. This is what I expect the sports car to be. And this is fun, Tommy.
This is really fun.
Yeah, this is fun, yeah.
Yeah, this thing's awesome. The steering with this hydraulic power steering. Oh, it's got a good sound, too.
I'd get one of these if there was one at the JDM store.
Oh, this thing is just awesome. I can't believe how fun this is. 6,000 RPM, 7,000 RPM. That's awesome. This thing's got some power to it.
Yeah, I think we exceeded the recommended speed limit by a little bit, Tommy. Just a little bit.
How could I be at Fuji Motor Speedway and only do 28 miles an hour? We gotta go a little bit quicker.
You mean 45 kilometers?
Yeah, 45 kilometers an hour. Rear wheel drive, tossable platform.
Looks like you're having fun.
Super smooth engine, great 6-speed manual. This is what driving is all about. I can't believe how much fun this is.
Now, I hate to say this, but, I wasn't a young man when the IS came out, and I remember, tracking that vehicle. It felt a little bit less, let's call it sprightly, limber than this. It felt a little bit more buttoned down. I kind of like this better.
Well, this car was significantly lighter than the Lexus we got in the US, and that greatly improved its performance from a handling standpoint. So this is a real treat. I cannot believe how much I like the Altezza. I've never driven, I think it's called the Gita or the Gaida version, which is the station wagon. But from my initial impressions, this thing kind of rocks. It's kind of awesome.
Hey, I want to see what it looks like under the hood. Let's pop it.
All right. So there is that Beams engine. Now, this is pretty cool. They had different valve covers would actually indicate, the desirability. There was a red top and a gray top and the black top. And the black top was the best version. Made about 210 horsepower. The automatics made about 197. So they were a little bit down on power compared to this engine. But really a cool little unit, right? You can see how much space there is in the engine bay for room if it was a 6-cylinder inline-6 version. Yeah, I mean, pretty easy to work on. I've read they're pretty reliable, and they last a long time.
You know how cars depreciate in the U.S.? They depreciate quicker here, Tommy. I bet you could have this for not a lot of money.
I think you're right. Yeah.
And look at, I mean, I love the wheels on this car. I just love the stance of the thing. It looks badass.
Yeah, and like if you come around the rear, you had these clear tail lights, which was a cool look, for this period. Yeah, these were really cool cars. I really enjoy them a lot, and kind of want an IS now in the U.S. I mean, what's going to hurt the value a little bit on this car is the right-hand drive in the U.S.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you want to hear what it sounds like from the outside?
Yeah. Here, I got it. Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. I want the IS wagon. That's the one I want.
Yeah, pretty cool
those
stuff.
Those are pretty hard to find. All right, go for it. Yeah, it sounds good, Tommy.
Yeah, not bad.
It doesn't sound, 4-cylinders are hard to make sound good. This actually sounds throaty, which is unusual.
And then the coolest part about these cars was the actual gauges, which have your tachometer in the middle, and then within the tachometer, it had oil pressure, volts, and temperature, and it was just a really cool mechanical look. And then you had your kilometers, now your speedometer off to the right in that little digital display. All right, so driving the legendary Toyota Aristo. This car in the US was sold as the Lexus GS300, except in the US we got the 227 horsepower 2JZ GE, and in Japan they got the 280 horsepower 2JZ GTE. This is the engine from the Mark IV Supra.
All right, give it the beans, dude. Okay, I'm serious, give it the beans.
It's been given.
These are the beans?
Well, you gotta wait for it. There's the power.
Tommy, this reminds me of your grandma's ES.
That's some harsh words. Listen, this is a 90s turbo engine. I know it's sequential turbo, but I guarantee once we get in the upper RPM, are you ready?
Yeah.
Hold on.
All right, let's go.
It's coming. There it is. Look, Dad, stop being so rude.
Oh my God, Tommy.
Do you understand how legendary?
I mean, if there was a Prius on this racetrack, it would go speeding ahead of us right now.
Well, yeah, because the new Prius is fast. There's the power, 5,000 RPM.
No, I'm talking about the same generation Prius. There is more wind noise coming from the A-pillar than there is exhaust note coming from this clapped out engine, dude.
It's not clapped out. These engines on stock main bearings can do like 500 or 600 horsepower. The biggest problem is the 4-speed automatic, which is greatly hampering our performance. But actually, the handling is pretty good. It feels really nice.
You know what it feels like? It feels like about 180 of those 280 horses have left the barn.
Look, you are being rude to one of the legends. First generation GS, not many left. You never see them. Super well-made cars designed to compete with the BMW and the Mercedes of the day. Rear-wheel drive platform, great drift cars if you tune them up and do some suspension work. You got the sophisticated suspension. These had dual wishbones, right? Super advanced control arms for the era. These were hot cars.
Yeah, but this one's clapped out, dude. There's nothing left in it. I can tell.
There was some. It wasn't bad.
There was nothing.
What was bad about it? It was smooth.
I mean, I was picturing that Fast and Furious scene, right, where they show the internals of the engine, the nitrous goes squirting, and the only thing that went squirting into this thing was way too much gas because it's running rich.
It's fine. This car is perfectly adequate. It's just a little tired, but with a couple of sequential turbos bolted to this thing, some new turbos, and maybe a manual, it'd be a really fun car.
Yeah, I think your grandma's ES is quicker, dude. Seriously, I mean that.
So here we've got the 2JZ GTE, the 3-liter two-way twin turbo. Now, this engine is so sought after by the tuning community in the US now, it's actually cheaper to buy a Toyota Aristo, import one to the USA, and then remove the engine than it is to actually source one locally. A really interesting body style. You just don't see that much anymore in the USA in the GS form, but this was a sleek design, a Tell design originally, built from 91 through 97, and there are some differences between the Toyota and the Lexus version. Obviously the grille is different, the vertical slats with the Toyota badge. It has projector beam headlights. This was a pretty attractive car when it came out. Sure, it's aged a little bit and looks a little dinky by modern day standards, but has these nice chrome wheels, which are pretty cool. Blue brake calipers, I think, are probably not stock on this one. And then on the inside, most GSs would have been leather. This one, though, has the fabric seat with the little horizontal lines. Fabric, of course, big in Japan in the 90s, still today. It's got the driver-oriented instrument cluster with the automatic climate control. There's our automatic transmission selector with power modes and normal modes. I love the little tuning knobs. I think that's really cool. Pretty roomy, comfortable car. Power seats, well equipped. Look, it's a little basic, of course, by 2025 viewpoint, but back in the day, this was a really nice interior.
Hey, Tommy, check this out. This is, come look, this is the much vaunted inspection model.
I think what happened is someone put an inspection decal on it.
Wait, you think this sticker and this didn't come from the factory?
No, the Lexus and Toyota PR folks said that's probably not standard. And then out back, look at the dual exhaust. That's awesome. The 3-liter V.
Hey, your grandma also had that gold covered.
Yeah, the gold emblem.
Exactly, yeah.
This was a cool taillight design, though, with kind of the hidden behind the plastic acrylic. It looks very almost like Z32 300ZX.
I feel like those exhausts aren't factory. What do you think?
Exhaust, probably not factory. They actually found this one at a Japanese auction for us to drive. But yeah, kind of a unique looking car today.
Yeah, I told you it was a little clapped out, Tommy.
It ran out of electricity. They're gonna put some more in there and it'll be good to go.
But this was fun.
This was phenomenal. I loved it. I couldn't believe how much this early IS/Altezza/RS200, how much fun it was to drive around the track. I mean, it wasn't the fastest thing in the world, but it was responsive, had a great sound, and was a very engaging driving experience.
You know, Tommy, I'm not that fast, and I'm certainly not that furious, but today I felt like I was both.
Yeah, what a great day. Even cruising around at embarrassingly slow speeds, it was awesome. It was so much fun.
We'll see you guys next time. Ciao.